Hi, my name is Venkat Nagaswamy. I'm the co-founder and CEO of MarianaIQ. Thanks for watching the video. Hopefully, we'll be able to answer some questions for you. I used to run enterprise marketing for Juniper Networks, and when we were trying to implement an account-based marketing approach, we ran into some problems. This is how we at Mariana look at account-based marketing overall. The execution, we see it in three buckets: account prioritization, people prioritization, and execution. And this rests on planning and reporting and measurement, which guides the actions. So the problems that we used to run into were trying to figure out which account to go after and who within the account to go after. And finally, how do we surround them, or how do we find them on various channels? How do we use different kinds of marketing to sway their minds? And that is the problem that we are trying to fix at Mariana, these execution problems associated with account-based marketing. So there are three key things that we do for you. Based on your data, we help you identify which accounts to go after, who within the account to go after, and how to surround the same individual on various channels. Right now, our focus is Facebook, Twitter, and Google AdWords, and over time, we'll expand to display and other channels. So how do we do this? So the way we do this is to integrate internal and external data. Internal data from you, from CRM or from marketing automation and or your purchase data. We integrate that with external data that we have gathered about people and we continue to gather. Using these two sets of data, we automatically create models which then help us identify the accounts and people to then drive the execution on various channels. As I mentioned, social, Google, and banner ads are what we're starting off with. Over time, we'll be getting into other parts of the funnel as well. Now, the way we do this is by using a modern form of artificial intelligence called deep learning. We take unstructured data in the form of social data and other text and image data that we can get from the web. We integrate it with structured data that we get from you and from other sources. We then use deep learning to automatically create these models that then help us drive execution. So to get into further details of how we actually do this, I'm going to illustrate with what we do for a persona model. So we would start off with data that we get from Salesforce or from Marketo. We integrate it with the data that we have gathered. We have gathered about 5 terabytes worth of data from 100 million people in the US. This data is text data and image data, unstructured data from Twitter and from other usual suspects in B2B, such as ZoomInfo and Clearbit and so on and so forth. We augment the data that we get from you with the data that we have, and using deep learning, we automatically form these clusters that we call personas. These clusters are of people with semantically similar titles and semantically similar interests and roles. This example that you see in front of you is for a client of ours. They came to us saying, hey, we need to talk to an architect. But once we did the analysis, we found that there are actually 3 types of architect: an app architect, an enterprise architect, and a data architect. And all that they wanted to do was to target the data architect. So this ability to automatically create model constitutes the key differentiation that Mariana has. By taking your data and by integrating with the data that we have, we can automatically create these persona models, which then helps us identify the people. So once we create the models, what do? What we do is, using the account model, we identify a new account, and using the persona model, we identify each of the individuals in a purchase committee within that account. And for each of the people that we have identified, we can then find those specific people on various channels. We can, of course, find their email address and phone number. We can also find the specific individuals on banner ads, on Google AdWords. And so this allows you to be able to surround the same individual with various kinds of marketing. And this constitutes the second advantage that Mariana has, which is being able to identify the specific individuals on all channels that you would want to use to target the individuals. Now, account-based marketing and the landscape of ABM tools is rapidly evolving, but we wanted to give you a view of how we see the landscape. As we discussed earlier, we look at it in 3 buckets: account prioritization, people prioritization, and execution, which rests on a bed of measurement, if you will. Mariana is the only company which can thread it through from account prioritization to people selection to execution. And the key point to note here is that the data that we use for account prioritization and people selection is exactly the data that you need to drive execution. This way, execution is directly tied to strategy and analysis, and therefore you can target the same companies and people, and only the same company and people that you want to target, as opposed to having execution and strategy and analysis being disconnected. We want to leave you with a case study of one of our foremost customers, Zendesk. Zendesk, as you are well aware, is one of the foremost B2B marketing companies. They wanted to, in addition to the inbound marketing that they continue to excel at, they wanted to layer on more outbound marketing. And one of the aspects that they wanted to do was to improve the leads and targeting capabilities. We took the data that they gave us and augmented it with the data that we had, and we created a target list of 100,000 people. And here are some of the outcomes. First, we were able to reach 50% of this 100K list in just 3 days. Because we found the individuals on Facebook, and Facebook being a high interaction channel, we could identify and reach these people at a very rapid rate, something that you would not be able to do on very many other channels. Secondly, we were able to increase the lead volume by 4 times while preserving and improving the quality of leads. And finally, this is more a demonstration of our analysis capability. We gave them a persona model within a day after they gave us the data. They had an internal effort going on to determine what the customers that they're going after. And after a couple of months of analysis on their own, they came up with an answer which is similar to what we had showed them. And finally, in terms of our relationship with them, what you see on the right hand side is the leads that they were able to get from our work. And we have now gone from Facebook to other aspects such as Google AdWords and banner ads. So with that said, I'm going to close this discussion. If you have any questions, please email us at sales@marianaiq.com. Hope to see you one of these days. Thank you.